Hey friends, while it's some mixed news for this month's Lubbock real estate update, overall the news is good. So we're just going to jump right to it and look at our metrics that we normally look at as we begin our monthly market update and analysis. Of course, we're going to look at our general market overview, buyer activity, listing inventory, and interest rate. So as we look at the general market overview, what you're going to notice right off the bat, the number of homes that went under contract in March was 18% up from March of last year, which puts us 6.8% up year to date, which is showing strong buyer activity. Now, the number that's going to stand out to you is the closings, because we're off about 3.5% year to date, 3.5% last month as well, year over year. And so you're wondering, why is that? I suspect part of this is still because we're still seeing a fair number of contract fallouts. And so while the buyer activity is strong, buyers are still a bit anxious and nervous and are not as confident when they get under contract, get through inspections. So it's important that sellers be mindful of this as you get under contract. There is still some negotiating to do to get to the finish line. As you look at the median sold price year to date, up 1.5%, average sales price up 2.6%. Average days on market holding pretty steady, about 80 days from listing to going under contract. So it is still taking some time and some patience with sellers to go under contract, and we'll dig into this more in just a moment. Now, as you look at the under contract activity, as I mentioned, over 500 homes went under contract in March. As you look back last year, it was April before that happened, and we only had the 1 month last year that had over 500 homes go under contract. Now, just to refresh your memory, we have to go all the way back to 2021 prior to last year to see over 500 homes go under contract in 1 month. So to crack that threshold last year was great. To see it again this year, a month earlier, is encouraging. So buyers are engaged. I think that was helped more by interest rates starting off the month lower. We'll dig into that more in a minute as well. As you look at the the active listing count, really it's held pretty steady for the first quarter of this year. It's varied a little bit, mostly hovering 1425 to 1450 active Lubbock County listings. Now, as we got into early March, that number actually dropped down closer to 1400 as the interest rates came down. But as they started moving back up through the month, we saw the inventory start creeping back up. Now, as you look back 12 months or so, you'll see we're right in line where we were April last year. And of course, as rates in the economy kind of waffled a little bit last year, you saw the listing inventory creep up from May on, really from April on last year. It'll be interesting to see what this year's trend looks like as we go the next couple of months, but it's encouraging signs overall to see that we're hovering roughly equal, which means that the buyer activity is absorbing the new listings as they come on market so far this year. So as we look at interest rates, of course, that's the big story right now. As we started in March, we were around 6%. Buyers were really starting to jump in the market with that, and that's really exciting. But as the Iran war started and more uncertainty around the economy, fuel prices, all that good stuff, we started to see interest rates going back up. Now hovering around 6.5% is where they peaked out right towards the end of the month with most of the local lenders and national lenders. And starting today, they're around 6.25, 6.3%. If you'll look back 12 months, you'll notice even though we're up in the 6.25 to 6.5% range, we're still lower than where we were this time last year. So the rates are still good, but after touching down at 6%, it sure doesn't feel as good as we see them moving back up. So as always, you're probably going to have some questions, or you may know someone who's considering a move to Lubbock or within Lubbock. As always, just reach out to us. You can message us, reply to this email, call, text us. We'll be happy to answer your questions for you, help you to interpret this data for your personal situation, and to just start smart strategies and moves as you move forward. So as always, we appreciate you watching. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.